Our forefathers have gifted us with a pristine environment. Our kings rolled out a package of environmental policies in the 70s that was way ahead of everybody's time. Our forests, the animals, the mountain ranges, clear, crisp rivers. These are gifts that are priceless. Our job is to protect it. That is our objective. That is the urgency.
Bhutan for Life is a way of ensuring that the sacred mountains of Bhutan and the extraordinary park system remains intact at a time when there are huge development pressures to meet the needs of the people of Bhutan.
Bhutan is situated in this intense, biologically rich eastern Himalayan complex. We have the Asian elephants. We are discovering snow leopard. We have tigers roaming all the way from the southern tropical jungles to the high mountains. Bhutan's pristine landscape is dotted with temples and prayer flags, and there are monks who actually live around it in complete solitude. And for them, that space for contemplation, that space for religious awakening, enlightenment is so important.
In Bhutan, the developmental activities like the construction of roads, clearing forests because we have to erect the electric poles, it is guided by a principle of gross national happiness.
Gross national happiness is about a balance between economic growth but social progress. It's about material progress balanced with spirituality.
Bhutan has changed much more in the last 50 years than in the 500 years before that. So we are now in a crossroad, and the state is doing all it can to legislate laws. We have 51% of land under park area. These legislations do help, but if we don't make the right choices in terms of environmental conservation right now, I think there are consequences for the world and the region and for Bhutan itself.
The biggest threat is obviously people. And with modernization, people feel the urgency to produce more. And that has the risk of coming into conflict with the laws of nature. But the bigger urgencies, really, they are global in nature. Greenhouse gases and global warming, climate change. We are also a very poor country. We have extremely limited resources. As many more children complete school and as they need jobs, as we require more investments in infrastructure in order to foster economic growth, the danger is that what we've set aside for the environment may be diverted. So this is one reason why Bhutan for Life is a good idea.
Nobody wants to fund something that will be gone in 10 years. Donors want results. They want permanence. They want leverage. And Bhutan for Life is structured to provide all three. It uses a couple of techniques that are unique. One is the idea of a single closing, and the other is a transition fund. And these are really interesting. A single closing essentially is a financial structure borrowed from Wall Street, where donors commit certain funding, but they don't pay unless the total amount is reached. The other is a transition fund. Once that closing happens, the donors place their money into a mechanism that pays out over time based on certain conditions being reached. It enables donors and the government to come together and create something knowing that it will be successful.
Environment has no boundaries. If it is rich, the world is that much more richer. If it is destroyed, it's the world's collective loss. So Bhutan for Life is extremely innovative in that it allows the world to come together with common purpose, with a common vision, and to help a country, a government and a people who are committed to protecting the environment for the world ultimately.
In Bhutan, you have an opportunity in a place where it's all intact, it's all still there, to create an initiative that helps the government of Bhutan keep it intact forever. And if we're not careful, we're going to lose everything that we have taken for granted.
If we can demonstrate that it'll work, it opens up the floodgates of possibilities throughout the world. Because the fight can be won only if we work together. We need Bhutan for life.